I think what Gujarat has tended to do successfully in this very early stage of their IPL career is do pretty similar to the team they played in the final, and that's remain consistent with both what they do on and off the field. They trust and back their players, they give them plenty of opportunities, and there's role clarity. It's very clear to see what a Gujarat team is going to look like. It's pretty easy to see how they're going to play, and it's pretty predictable, not in a negative way, but predictable in a positive way to when certain players are going to be activated in any sort of game situation. I think the most defining moment for me with regards to this side is their bowling dominance. You only have to look at the wicket takers in the whole IPL and look at who sort of heads the list of the most wickets taken. Led by Mohammad Shami, you've got Rashid Khan right up there, you've got Mohit Sharma right up there, and they're probably all in the top 5 of the most wickets taken in a 10-team tournament. That in itself tells you a lot. It tells you that they're dominating with the ball, they're defending whatever runs they manage to get, whether it be big totals or small totals, and they're a very hard nut to crack. So, I've always believed in T20 cricket that you ideally want to have a strong bowling unit that can defend and attack 120 balls, and obviously then your batting follows that. They certainly have the bowling side of it covered. You can't forget about the batting dominance as well. I think the Titans are in a great position for the long term, obviously depending on what happens after 2024, whether we have another major auction or what the IPL decides to do. But they've got a lot of young players that will certainly carve out a long career with the Gujarat Titans, the likes of Rashid Khan, Sai Sudarshan, Hardik Pandya, just to mention a few. I'm sure there's more that don't spring to mind, but they certainly have got a model that can give them a strong backbone to any auction situation moving forward, and they've got stability around what they do structurally, both on and off the field. So they're in for a bright future. Probably the bowler that impressed me the most. It is a tough question because they had so many dominant bowlers, but I think the guy that takes the new ball, Mohammad Shami, I think his influence at the beginning of every innings when they take the ball is so dominant, and he's such a major threat. It really sets the opposition on the back foot. So I think he'd be my first choice, with a very close second being Rashid Khan. And from a batting standpoint, well, it's not that hard, is it really? A guy that scores 300s in a record-breaking season, Shubman Gill is an absolute standout and a superstar. I think there's very few areas that they need to look at to bolster their team. I think they've got most bases covered. Obviously they've got their bowling side with hoping that the likes of Mohit Sharma and Mohammad Shami are going to remain fit and strong into 2024. They've got 2 solid overseas pace bowlers in Little and Azari Joseph. Spin of Rashid Khan and Noor Ahmed. That's been terrific duo in their strategic planning, and their batting seems to have most bases covered. I suppose the one thing beyond 2024 is really they'll be looking at where or how they can replace someone like Saha, because he's sort of getting towards the back end of his career, but I'm sure they'll want him to play another season, given the contributions that he's still making, both with bat and behind the stumps. Yeah, I must admit I was surprised to see GT lose this final. They were my favourites going into it. I just thought they had most bases covered in all departments. Their batting so strong and diverse and deep. They're bowling the same, two great spinners. They had pace all sorted out. They're also probably the most consistent side throughout the whole season, winning the most amount of games. But I just wonder whether the first game in the playoffs against Chennai, where they lost that game so significantly, was sort of still in the back of their heads, playing against a side that they knew that beat them up just recently. So whether that is something that was still in the back of their minds, or just on the night, it's a two-horse race, they just didn't get it right, and Chennai had their eye on the target and found themselves lifting another trophy.